Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Hightop Sports. We've got ourselves a busy day today. I saw you guys this morning with Micah Mazuka. He entered into the transfer portal, and since then, a few more things have happened. We've had another player enter into the transfer portal. We're going to talk all about that and why we shouldn't be panicking on this particular player going into the portal. Then Miles Graham. There was an interesting situation that happened earlier this month with his father, Ernest Graham, when Jay Bateman left for the Texas A&M defensive coordinator job. There was somebody who was called out. Miles Graham sets the record straight. We're going to play the clip here in just a moment. And then DJ Lagway has a few tidbits here that he talks about with how he was pursued late at the end there, and also about the future of Florida and why he thinks he's going to be a game changer, which we all believe he's going to anyways. And look, all these clips are coming from today. I guess they're doing interviews and whatnot with all of the new recruits. I do want to give a shout out to Nick Marcinto, I believe, from Gator Country. He's the one posting these, and Gentry Hawk. They're posting clips while they're there. So shout out to those guys on Twitter for giving us the opportunity to see this and get, some insight. And when I play these clips as well from these players, it's almost like a carbon copy of Billy. And I mean that in a good way, that this message is the same. And when you love seeing that in an organization, when players are kind of carrying themselves the same way that the head coach does. And for these guys that haven't even obviously been into facility yet, just shows how much they trust and believe in Billy. And as much as we want to hate, as much as we want to give Billy shit, and I've always said it's warranted, you got to love the guys that are coming in and how much they're buying into the process. Eventually, we've got to be able to turn a blind eye to the things we've been frustrated with and go, hey, these guys are bought in. They've seen the same things that we've seen, yet they're continuing down the same, marching on the same path that we're going to change the program around. We're here to turn it around. Just trust us. We got to trust them, right? If not Billy, trust these kids and just the passion and the drive they have to be Gators. You've got to love that. But let's get into the first order of business here. Jaden Hill. I'm starting to think maybe this helmet here that I've put away off to the side that's signed by everybody who's left. Micah Mazuka signed this helmet as well. I want to say Hill may have signed it. Don't know anymore. We did have Jaden Hill on the show. We had Princely on the show. We had Ricky Pierce on the show. All three are gone. Maybe we should just end the show. No more interviews here, okay? We're good. No need for us to ruin anything else here, guys. Jaden Hill has entered into the portal. Now, this one, look, great player. Love the guy. Obviously, we had an interview with him. But this, to me, seems like and feels like a business decision. With what Will Harris has came in and done, and we talked about this on Wednesday with Ali Peak, there's like 6-7 guys, cornerbacks, safeties coming in to visit on top of another one that was just added today, USC commit. He's already committed to USC, but Will Harris said, I don't care. Come see Papa. Let's talk about it. Let's see what you can get how we can get this thing done. John Humphrey, 6'2", 176 from UCLA. And don't forget, we already have sent his teammate an offer as well from UCLA. So to me, this feels like Will's going, hey, I've got X coming in and Z coming in. They're more than likely going to take your position. And you're going to need to go. And I want to show to them how much I'm committed to them. Think you're a great player, but for what I'm trying to run, what Austin's trying to run, you don't fit that scheme like we need it to be. That's how it appears to me. Look, you could say that I'm wrong, but just for how much traffic is coming through in that secondary position between, and I was kind of questioning, like, man, we need help, but damn, could we have the same kind of energy on the offensive line side? I digress. But with a more and more they keep coming in, again, are we going to land all of them? Hell, I don't know. Maybe at this point we might. With as many you have left, it's a possibility. So I love it. I think it's fantastic. Look at that. They're cleaning house. They're flipping the whole thing around. And we had question marks for the secondary. So as much as we may have loved him and felt like he had an impact, which I believe that he did, they're making a whole new adjustment and whole new changes to it. So hey, look, I'm bought in. You guys understand that. Where I'm at with these things. Bought into the process, but nothing but wish him but the best of luck on where he ends up and where he lands. But it seems to me that we may probably see a few more today, which I also anticipated. I told you guys this too, to expect more people to hit the portal, especially if you want Billy to be aggressive in the portal. Room has to still be made. Okay, so there's going to be this kind of back and forth here. So there may be a few more names that you may scratch your head, but understand that this is the direction that they're headed. So they've got to make room to get room. That makes sense. So we'll continue to monitor that as this week and the next few weeks continue to move on. Next order of business is the DJ Lagway, and it speaks on the future and also being recruited by A&M and USC. Great question. Shout out to whoever kind of just punched him right there and laid it all out. But here's what he had to say about schools, kind of really pushing hard at the end and his thoughts on that.
I'd say Texas A&M. USC came at the end, they were kind of late on the back end of it, but I'd say when Coach Elko got in, I was the first guy to kind of get up. Yeah, so I was the last time.
What was your relationship like with Coach Elko from his first time at A&M?
I really didn't spend that much time with him. He said he heard a lot of good things about me and all that good stuff. But that was actually my first time in home visit. We talked, had a good conversation. But yeah, he's a really good guy. He's going to turn that program around.
If you were to flip, would it have been A&M, or what were you kind of thinking? Where was
No comment.
I had to try.
Was there any pressure there for you, or no?
Not really just pressure, but I just wanted to make the right decision. That's what I had to just pray about it and make sure that Florida was the right decision. There's a lot of things playing in and playing out.
You sent your letter in first thing the next morning, but when did you tell Billy Napier that all that was done? You know what I mean? When did you let him know, hey, it's 100%?
I let him know that night, kind of like 11 o'clock that night.
I love this kid. I don't care what anybody says. No comment. I mean, that's a veteran pro right there on how to handle it. And look, you know how we like to do. We like to read the tea leaves around here and kind of dabble into it a little bit. When he was asked about Elko, it's like, hey, look, what was your relationship with him? You guys hang out? He's like, no, that was actually the first time we reached out to him. And think about all the articles that were dropped, right? A&M's making a push. Here they come. They're going to flip DJ Lagway, right? Like, that was heavy. And I understand these guys are writing articles here. But think about that for a minute. Just if that's a legit thing where they felt that A&M had a heavy run here. Where and this is what I was saying before. These kids that flip last second, what does that tell you? Right into the wall, lady. Bags right here. Where you want to come play or not? Because he goes, I never even spoke to Elko. The guy just, great guy. I think he's going to do a good job. That's a professional answer that DJ Lagway was going to give you. But it's like, if you truly felt that A&M out of nowhere, changing the program, new coach, and he comes in with a week left till signing day. First time you met him, it's like, wow, this guy really knows how to talk. After you have built a relationship with Billy Napier over the last year and a half, and they really thought that A&M had an opportunity, USC makes sense, right? But he didn't say USC. He said Texas A&M was really pushing really heavy there at the end. And I'm not faulting A&M for their push. I mean, that's their job. But the fact that there was a possibility, and I don't think there was. I think it was all kind of just hearsay. But that's how a lot of these kids are getting flipped because they just come with a big fat stack. Like, Elko's never talked to these guys. I'm sure Hugh Freeze probably hasn't talked to much of these guys either. Like, it's just crazy. I could be off the rocker there, but that's my thoughts on that. And then I want to play one last clip here of DJ. Actually, no, I don't have the clip. Just kidding. He was asked about him being a program changer, and he's like, look, when I showed up to Willis, Texas wasn't a winning program. And look, sorry, I haven't followed much of high school football. By the looks of it, when I interviewed DJ Lagway, and just kind of the little bit that I did dabble into Willis, Texas, felt like they were just a powerhouse of pumping out talent. Clearly, they're not. DJ Lagway literally flipped that program from zero to hero. It took him to a state or close to a state championship, I think, this past year at Willis. And obviously, they have their holes, but he's their first D1 athlete. I mean, top tier D1 athlete. So, look, I love it. I love his confidence. I love his poise. Great kid. Now, let's dabble into the drama here. Or it's not drama anymore. It's shut down very quickly here with Miles Graham. If you guys have been watching the show, you guys probably remember the Ernest Graham, which is Miles' father. When Jay Bateman was announced that he was headed to Texas A&M, it felt like it was, how he heard everything through Twitter, right? It just broke quick. And it's like, what is happening? The day after signing day, 2 days after they're shaking hands with Miles was shaking hands with Jay Bateman, a day after Jay Bateman's out here tweeting, I can't wait to work with you. Literally 24 hours later, he's gone, right? So Ernest then posts this tweet, says, my son was raised to understand the business as it exists, but there has never been new levels of disconnect with this program that I have never, ever experienced. No calls, no communication, and the driest experience imaginable. I'm just going to start there. This set the entire world on fire. The entire world on fire. I mean, the people that were hating on Billy, this just gave them, you damn near just gave them NOS, right? Of to burn this bridge down to the ground, and reasonably so. When I saw this, I go, oh, hell no, this isn't good. But I took a breather. I go, look, there's a lot of unknown here. We don't quite know. We're not quite sure exactly what he's trying to entail here. We don't know what happened. And a lot of people had their thoughts like, did Billy not know? Which then people question that. But here's what Miles had to say about the entire interaction. Take a listen.
Culture Coach Napier's trying to build. I feel like I've been in this type of situation before, like at my high school.
He did. He did, yes, sir. He he's explained the situation and that he found out just like we did too. Billy Napier being the head coach, he found out kind of the same way we did, and we kind of talked it out, and he told us that that I was in good hands. The next linebacker coach, he's going to be a great coach, so he kind of expressed to me that there's nothing to worry about.
Couple things there to unpack. Apologize for the miscommunication there, but number one, again, there was some reports that Billy was blindsided. Some people believed it, some people didn't. I still question, like, why were you blindsided? But it seems that, look, he may have agreed to it. Bateman was like, all right, I'm all in. A&M then basically said, F these guys. And it has seemed very personal for whatever reason. I don't know what Billy did to Elko, but they go and fire coach or hire Coach Chaos, which is fine. No problem there. I don't feel like that was like a shot, but I'm sure Coach Chaos is a little bitter after losing his job to Florida. They steal one of our wide receivers on National Signing Day. They go Kendall Jackson, who obviously decommitted from the program. They're going after us. And look, it makes it fun. I love it. Make it personal. I'm cool with it. And it's like, this was kind of like that last little firing blow of like, you're taking on water. We're going to try to dump on as much as we possibly can to make this thing look like a disaster. And look, to be fair, as much as we love to, I don't, but as people love to hate on Billy, this thing got damage control pretty quickly. Outside of that tweet, we didn't hear much more about it. It got settled down, and clearly Miles even says, like, look, call me right away and say, hey, man, I was blindsided just like you were. I apologize, but you're in good hands. And then again, the little T drop there, the next linebacker coach is going to be just fine. We've been wondering who it's going to be. Clearly, they feel confident on who it's going to be. Maybe, possibly so. I don't know. But something to think about, right? Who could it be? Again, we've been talking about these coaches the coaching hire, and then some portal things. There's some games left today, some games tomorrow, some games on Sunday, on Monday as well. Things could really open up. Monday, I think, would really be the final straw. I think things start trickling open as the next few days, as these games get played, of hopefully dominoes falling in the right direction. So maybe we already have a linebacker coach. I don't know. That's kind of what he alluded to there. You guys pick it apart as you like. But I do love the fact that he came out and defended the coach. Was like, yeah, Coach Napier didn't know. He found out when we found out. So if anybody wants to try to like spin that, it's like, oh, the kid's lying. Like, bro, you're running out of rope here. Okay, I don't think Billy's lying to this kid about the situation that happened. I think the way that it was, I think A&M kind of took an opportunity to take a shot, and they did. And that's just the game that we're in. It's a dog eat dog world, and it's either eat or be eaten. And right now we're getting nibbled on. All right, we're getting nibbled on, and that's just the way of the land. So look, a fun-filled day, to say the least, thus far. I expect, again, as these weeks continue to move on, it's only going to be busier, hopefully in the good direction, but I will expect some more attrition. I think this year it feels a little more controlled than last year. Last year it was just like, again, everyone was like, F this, I'm out of here, I'm not bought in. This seems to be like, hey, there's conversations, there's exit interviews, like, hey, this isn't going to work. All right, I'll see you later. Appreciate your time. All right, yep, I knew you were leaving, no big deal. Bada bing, bada boom. If you want to be here, it is what it is. Napier even alluded to it and during a few interviews, like 2 or 3 weeks before the season ended. He's like, yeah, there's going to be some names that you see on the board. You're like, all right, cool. And there maybe some names down there that shocked you. So I don't think the people that have entered the portal have surprised them. And I think a lot of it has been like, okay, a mutual decision. The only one, and we've kind of confirmed this, that wasn't like I'm accepting this, was Trevor Etienne. That is the only one that feels like it was like, hey, we would love to keep you. You're a great kid. We've got a great personality. In my opinion, everyone else seems to be like, it is what it is. Thanks, but appreciate you having here, including Princely. That's outside looking in, boys. Outside looking in, and from the noise that I'm hearing, again, how much I heard about Trevor and how much effort was put into saving him and how little I heard about everyone else leads me to believe that it's like, look, we don't have time to play this game of back and forth. You want to be here, you don't. And I know this is the new age, but in a weird way, sometimes sticking to your guns and sticking to who you are pays off in the long run. How long of a run is it going to be? That part I don't know. That part I will never know. Boys and girls, I love you. Good to see you twice today. You're welcome. Maybe a third time if some more things break. I don't know, but we'll be here ready to rock and roll. We'll see you boys in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I love you. Peace.